Hi Violent Community, it's Mike here and I'm back with another video, and this time it's some new records that I picked up in the last couple of months or so. There's only half a dozen to show you, but they're all really good in my opinion, so let's get on with it. So first one, from Australia, a band that releases an album every couple of months by the look of it, and of course it's King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And this is their latest, called Phantom Island. So it comes in an outer sleeve, so you take that off and then you get the proper artwork there. So there's a orchestra of crocodiles, and there's the back with the track listing and all the members of the band. So this was an album that was recorded in the same sessions as their previous album, which was Flight 6741. But it's quite different from that album, I think. I mean, this is quite a sort of muted, sort of laid-back album, I think, and you know, whereas say the previous album was a little more in your face. But it's really, really lovely album. So I'll show you the inner there. So it's the usual, all the words and everything. So yeah, so tracks on here. You got the title track, Phantom Island, then you've got Dead Stick, Lonely Cosmos, Eternal Return, Psych, Space Sick, Aerodynamic, Sea of Doubt, Silent Spirit, and Grow Wings and Fly. And I mean, this album has got a real sort of 70s soft rock vibe to it, and normally that would be a death knell to any album, I think. But this really works. It's really quite nice. It's quite, as I say, it's quite laid back. In parts, it sounds a little bit like sort of lounge music, really. But you know, the wonderful thing about King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard is that you never know what you're going to get from one album to the next. I mean, there's a bit of Psych in here as well, because there's always a bit of Psych, isn't there, in a King Gizzard album. But yeah, I would recommend this. It's a really nice album. So that's my first one, and it's Phantom Island by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Yet more from Australia, and this is the wonderful Civic. And this is their album Chrome Dip that came out end of May, I think. So there you go. There's all the tracks there. So you know, they're wonderful post-punk punky band, and yeah, I really, really, really love them. And this is another band that you know, Ben Rankins put me onto, and you know, there's so many wonderful bands there. So you've got all the lyrics in the middle there of the sort of the inner, and you know, okay, so they're punk, post-punk, but also this album sounds sort of quite metal, really. You know, you can imagine that, you know, if you're into a bit of heavy metal, then I think you'd love this album as well. Gull's Way, I really love that track, and Poison is another great one. Fragrant Rice, I think that's probably my best, you know, my favourite track on the whole album. But yeah, it's a really nice album, as I say, from May. I'll show you the vinyl, because it's a kind of grey sort of splatter sort of effect, and or marbled effect, I should say. So that's the second one. You know, so two albums from Australia, and I haven't quite finished with Australia yet. There's another one coming up in a bit. But now, I know that most of you have been waiting for another dose of female-fronted Ukrainian hardcore punk. Well, you're in luck. This is from the band Death Pill, and as I say, they're from the Ukraine, and you probably might have difficulty reading what that says, but it says sologamy, and I had to look sologamy up. And sologamy is the act of being married to yourself, which seems like an odd sort of concept to me, but anyway, it's a thing apparently. So you get this album, you get a Death Pill sticker, if you like, to put that somewhere, and There's a photograph of the band there, and yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, I must say, I don't like it quite as much as their debut album. Their debut album was far more sort of in-your-face hardcore punk. This one at times sort of wanders a little bit too close to sort of American pop punk, really. But there's still, you know, plenty of hardcore in there. So yeah, overall, I'm glad I got this album. So you've got tracks like "Haters Gonna Hate," "Crater Face," "Ugly Me." "Ugly Me" seems like quite a strange track name on an album, which is about being married to yourself. You know, you think if you were going to marry yourself that you'd really be fancying yourself, wouldn't you? But anyway, there is there. Don't Say It So, Phone Call, Monsters in My Brain, Hey Man, Pro Eureka, and an outro. And there you go, all the lyrics there. They sing in English, and that's another thing. In the previous album, a lot of the tracks were sung in Ukrainian, and somehow it made it sound, you know, even more sort of hardcore to my ears. But there you go. So it's on sort of clear vinyl there. So that's Ukrainian punk, and Polygamy by Death Pill. Right. Okay, an album that a lot of people have picked up, and quite rightly so. It's a wonderful half man, half biscuit, and this is their album, all Asimov and No Fresh Air, and you know, half man, half biscuit are really sort of on form with this album. You know, very much sort of into sort of popular cultural sort of memes with their lyrics. You know, very British, very British lyrics, I think, on the whole. But tracks on here, one that I think has been put out as a single, it's called Horror Clowns Are Dickheads, which I think we can all agree with. And it's a fantastic track, really, really funny, really good bit of post-punk, really. Then you've got Goodbye Sam, Hello Samaritans, which is lovely. Royal Plugs of Yesteryear, Breaking the States. And then you've got The Bliss of the Hereafter, and then a track called McCalliog and the Hens, and this track was written as the theme tune to an up-and-coming comedy series, and it says here that it's about a man who keeps their corn chickens, and it's starring Neil Warnock, and Tilda Swinton is the love interest. So, you know, I'm going to be looking out for that. That sounds really good. Then on side 2, what have you got? No One Likes a Polymath. Don't Get Me Wrong, Yvonne. Burmus and the Cowshed. Falmouth Electrics. Jack's Been to the National. And Possible Side Effects. So, two more tracks on side 1. There's Record Store Day, which is brilliant. It sums up Record Store Day to a T. You know, there's an album by that bloke who died. There's an altercation in the crowd outside. Yeah, that's Record Store Day. And they say we've got to get ourselves a second mortgage because, as we know, Record Store Day is not the cheapest day of the year, is it? And then I'm going out of my mind trying to get into yours. So this is an absolutely brilliant sort of fun album by Half Man, Half Biscuit. And I'll show you get it the right way up. There's the label. So yeah, that's a fantastic album, really good. Right, now this is a reissue, and it's from Australia, Tasmania to be precise, but it's a guy who was brought up in the UK, in St Ives, I think, and the album's from 1974, and it's folky by a guy called Howard Eynon, as you can see, and it's called So What If I'm Standing in Apricot Jam. And it's a really sort of fun record. It's, as I say, it's very folky. The lyrics are fantastic, and I'll show you the inner there. That's pictures of him, and then there's his partner there at the top, and some information about the album itself. And it's really nice, and it's on the Earth label, and the Earth are an offshoot of Fire Records in the UK, and they've issued some absolutely brilliant sort of folky records, reissues over the last few years, including those by the wonderful band Trees. So it came with a CD as well, and it's on lovely orange vinyl. And for those of you who are sort of Australian aficionados, if you're not convinced by me saying that this is a good album that you should buy, I just tell you that it says here, prepared for vinyl reissue from original tapes by Mikey Young. Yes, the great Mikey Young is involved in this album. And as the people know, if Mikey Young's involved in an album in any capacity whatsoever, it's going to be a cool cut. This is a fantastic album, sort of bit sort of psyche weird 70s folk, and if you like that sort of thing, then you definitely like this one. Right, now the final album, again, it's quite a strange one, and it's an album that I was going to pick up when it came out in 2021, and for some reason I didn't. And then I went into Jumbo Records at the weekend, because they've got a sale on at the moment, 30% off selected records, and the record I'm going to show you was one of them. And it involves this band. This is Freakwater, Old Paint, and I think they're from Kentucky. And I bought this CD in 1995. So this was during the period when I was just absolutely sick of the dreary sort of Britpop stuff and all the machinations, the contrived feuds between a band in Manchester and a band down south. I mean, what is that all about? So, the whole Britpop thing, it was okay, but I thought, well, it wasn't really going anywhere. I started looking for more interesting stuff, and say this is good Old Paint by Freakwater. They're from, I believe they're from Kentucky, and it's Americana, and it's really good. And so in 2021, they teamed up with Leeds post-punk legends, the Mekons, to become the Freakons. And there's a hype sticker here, and it says Freakwater plus Mekons equals Freakons, a match made in literate indie weirdo heaven. And that just about sums it up. And this album is, from the South Yorkshire coalfields to, the Yorkshire coalfields to South Yorkshire. I'll start that again. From the Yorkshire coalfields to the South Wales coalfields via Kentucky. And these are songs about mining. And, rather nice sort of mural type illustration there, and there's more on the inner as well. And I'll show you. There you go. So there you go, and there's sort of a whole lot of miners' strike sort of iconography there. And yeah, so these are all songs about mining, and partly folk, partly Americana. Here's the label. So so what have you got on here? You've got Dark Lords of the Mine, which was a Freakons track that they did themselves, and a Freakwater track called Chestnut Light, and you've got the traditional song Black Leg Miner on here, and it's a really fantastic rendition of that song. So I was really pleased to see that 30% off in Jumbo. So I thought, well, I can't pass up on that twice, so I bought it, and it's a lovely album. So that's basically what I bought, just half a dozen albums in the last couple of months. been mainly buying reissues and trying to save a bit of money actually. But there you go. So that's all. So until next time, I'll see you folks. Bye bye.